Hey. Looks like I'm live. Wow. Went a little faster live than I thought it would be. Hey, folks, how you guys doing? Happy Wednesday. Yeah, looks like I'm live over there, too, on the YouTube. Lacore Sue. Let's get some of this audio down a little bit here. Turn this sucker down just a hair. All right. Yo. Scott, Ivy, Lacore, Sue, Red Raider. Hey, Donnie, what's going on, brother? Let's see. Whispers TV. Hey, you made it for a live. Look at that. Edward. God bless y'all. Tina. Let's see. Doll. I think that's about all. Let's go ahead and get a quick prayer going here. Give me just a second. Let me get the prayer thing going. Well, I had it open. Oh, here we go. There we go. Reopen that rascal. All right, folks. I humbly ask our Lord Jesus Christ and our Heavenly Mother Mary that if it be in accordance with your holy will, that all curses, evil, demonic involvement, and or attacks being sent against us be blocked, be sent back from whence it came. Please, dear God, help those that are in need, body, mind, and spirit. Send your angels of healing and support to those souls. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Holy cow, what's going on, folks? What's up? Got her started out. Claire, hey, AJK. Please like and share this stream out. Last night, I was over on the Fringe.fm as a guest. How's the audio, by the way? Audio okay? Everything doing all right? I was a guest for 2 hours. Joe Roop's show over there. Lighting the Void. And he asked me back again tonight. So after my show here, 11 p.m. Central, I'm going to wind up being another, repeat guest on Lighting the Void. So if you guys want to be a part of that show, head over there tonight. Open lines, 931-994-6917. All the cool stuff when you do open lines. Let me get the banner running here and see what's going on. Last night, when I was talking to Joe, he asked me about falling from heaven. When I said, God, I got to go back. And I fell from heaven. He said, how long did it take you to fall? And I said, days, at least. So I would just go nuts and go back. And then all of a sudden, I was like, wait a minute. There was some stuff that happened. Kind of wrote about that today. So day 69. Couldn't find the show last night. It is a radio show. The link is on the, lightingthevoid.com. That's a live feed over there. If you go lightingthevoid.com. Hey, Shauna. There's my girl, my love right there. How you doing? So, if you go to lightingthevoid.com, that should be a live feeder. Hold on a second. Let's see. Let me pull that up. Now I can't. Let me get rid of all these. I was designing posters today, which let's go here and I'll share Lighting the Void. If I get this thing up, we'll share this out. Yeah, all right. Lighting the Void. And the podcast from last night is not up. A drive-by, yep. Your ass better get back in bed or go to bed. You get up way early. That's all I can tell you. Let's see. There it is. Share that out. This is where I'm going to be tonight. 9 p.m. Pacific time to 11 p.m. I was there last night, and there's a live feed that goes on. As soon as this goes live, it should pop up a link to listen to it live. So that's it right there, folks. That's where I'm going to be after this show. And I had a fun time last night. Right there. Near-death experience. That was from last night's broadcast. And again, the same thing. I'll be on there. I don't know what we'll get down to. Well, don't make me come over there. Is all I can tell you. Well, Julie. Hey, Julie, what's going on? Good to hear you. Good to see you. So that is the whole thing right there. I've got, let's see. If nobody's, it takes a little bit for people to get the gumption to call in 931-994-6917. If you can call that number, you can get in. Or if you, let me go ahead and stop that right there. Let's go ahead and just share, put the invite out there. Copy clipboard. We'll get the invite out here. If you want to do the invite, listening to the rain. Man, I tell you, this week is going to be a hell of a Mother Nature thing. Uh, Mother Nature is, earlier this week it was cold enough to snow. I know it snowed in Ohio, up where Shawn is. But tomorrow, no, well, tomorrow it's going to be in the 60s. Friday it's going to be 70 something here, and then 80 Saturday and Sunday. Can you believe that? 80 degrees. And it was freaking cold enough. And actually, there was a freeze warning last night. So, Gordon, what's going on, brother? So this weekend, the the weather witches out there are doing some crazy stuff, as I can tell you. Scott said it snowed yesterday. Tomorrow it's going to be 80 in Michigan. That sounds about right. I think the old Mother Nature has Tourette syndrome. Give it a second, and she'll change her mind, I guess. What you guys drinking tonight? 931-994-6917. I got medium dark roast Mick Cafe. It's actually pretty damn good right now. So what do you guys want to talk about tonight? UFOs. Let's see. I haven't seen any UFOs. He likes weather witches. Shauna does. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. She likes weather witches. Definitely. Let's see. Who said that? Come to East Tennessee. Can't wait to move to Tennessee. Tennessee's a nice place. Loved it. Shell, what's going on? I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays over here. So 82 in Arizona is on fire, literally. Oh, yeah. I saw that over on your Facebook feed. You all right there, Red? Saw that you didn't you post a evacuation notice or some crap like that, and you had to move to some family cabin or something like that? I hope everything's all right. You in a little bit. That is just amazing. Stuff like that happens. But holy cow. Please share this out to your friends, your family, your dog's neighbor, your parakeet across the road, even the neighbor that you don't like. Say, hey, chasing truth on. Emma, what's up with you? How's how you doing? How's everything going over on your end of the world? Oh man, teddy bear eating baby food. What? Wait a minute. Let's read this. Kids are funny thing. Teddy bear eating baby food. Got the little one to eat dinner early. Okay, well, I guess if you trick them into doing something, if they're finicky eaters, I guess that will be one way of doing it. You'll have to just throw that bear in the wash, I guess. But big thing last night, I was over on the Fringe.fm as a guest over on Lighting the Void with Joe Roop. Talked for 2 hours about my near-death experience, and he thought enough about me to say, hey, I'd like to have you back. So I'm going to be on after my live stream here. I'm over on the Dark Waters Paranormal Radio app right now, and a couple other places over on Facebook and over on Twitter. But the links, if you're on Twitter and Facebook, you probably find the link, the lightingthevoid.com. That's where I'm going to be tonight. So it'd be easy teasy to get a hold of that link and see that, be able to hear that. Or, hey, Charles, what's up? I am doing freaking fabulous. All I can say is I have been blessed. I have absolutely, since I started writing this book. Actually, I tried to say this last night, but I didn't get that out. since I started writing this book 69 days ago. Books, not books. God has literally just blessed the living snot out of me. He keeps on blessing me. You know, thanks to Dark Waters, if he's listening. Appreciate you, buddy. James, you have been a friend indeed. Appreciate you. And big thing, Tina Bice, well, last Friday on Southern Supernatural, she got off a little sick and she wound up, I can't go. Well, she got sick, and obviously that was what was going on with her. So I talked to her today, and she's doing better. Should be back at it. Let's see. Danielle's going to be back. She's been in British Columbia. If you've been following her Instagram feed, she's been posting some stuff over there in British Columbia. They'll all be back Friday, and then we're going to have that fellow that called in, Keith Hass, the medium, psychic medium, that absolutely blew my shoes off, or shoe off. Shoe off. He's going to be back Friday. So hopefully everything is going to be good. We're going to have all kinds of crazy stuff that's going to go on. Might do some readings, might not. I don't know. We'll just do something Friday and see what goes on. But like I said, after this show, hop on over to lightingthevoid.com and, wait until 11 o'clock Central Time, and I'll be live over there on the fringe.fm, lightingthevoid.com, Joe Roop Show. Second appearance in 2 days. Apparently I said something right. And he said, "Hey, man, can you come back?" And I said, "Yep, I'll do it." All right. So that's how that goes. Talked about my near-death experience last night. Went down, I think I tripped him out a little bit, talking about the void I was in. And then, let's see, what else did I talk about? Talked about the reptilians, the reptilian eyes. That kind of freaked him out a little bit too. That was just weird. If you've got a wrench and you got a channel, drop your links in the chat there. Definitely do that. Hey, Trina, what's going on? You owe me a call, Trina. I need to know what's going on up there in West Virginia. Oh, wait a minute. We got Donnie Cho on. Hey, Donnie, what's going on, brother?
Hey, you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Everything's good?
Yeah, last time we tried, was it a time before we had the issues with the audio or something like that?
No, that was before I came on. Your audio kind of went okay right before I called, so timing was good.
Well, the software I use on this Mac updated, and I had to go back and rebuild all of my digital audio outlets and stuff. So once I did that, everything was all right.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to congratulate you on your show. I'm sorry I missed it. I looked real hard. Like I kept reloading their YouTube channel, thinking it was going to pop up, and I was like, eventually I gave up. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play some Nintendo.
Well, what was it? The lightingthevoid.com.
Yeah.
I'll drop that link here.
But I actually started checking out some of their previous episodes, and it seemed pretty good. So I'm gonna have to go back and check more of their stuff out. Yeah, I never even heard about them until you were going on the show. So
I've been on the show I think twice before last night. So he's a good guy. I like him. He is a little esoteric. He's into metaphysics, heavy.
I'm sure he and I would have a lot to talk about then.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a cool guy. I like that fella. But I kind of the conversation that we had in the commercials was he's like, "Man, you're freaking me out." So I was like, "Oh man, all right." Well, he got kind of into when I started talking about the reptilian eyes in my near-death experience. I don't know if you heard that part, Donnie, or not.
No, I didn't catch the episode. I'm going to go back and listen to it.
Well, I can tell it. I can tell it. I can tell it. Might as well. Yeah, hell, it's my show. Might as well tell it. After I spent, let's see. Well, I'll do a long story short kind of deal.
Okay.
Wound up in the emergency room after a car wreck. I was drunk driving, car wreck, wound up and hurt my left shin pretty bad. 7 days later, on the 27th of 2015 of November, wound up in the emergency room and my leg looked like Freddy Krueger got a hold of it.
Mm.
It was gangrene, necrotizing fasciitis. The flesh-eating bacteria got a hold of it.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend, a physician, it's a surgeon. I'm not going to name his name, but his first and his last name is exactly the same, spelled the same way. So kind of weird. He says, Shawn, I'm going to have to take that leg. I was like, all right.
Mm.
Well, I kind of figured that was what's going to happen because when I got my leg up on the stretcher, my leg just popped open. It's just like a ripe watermelon that you threw down on the ground. And I was like, well, that's not right. And of course, I should have freaked the hell out. I didn't. And my sister was there. And my brother came through, and the doctor gave me a lot of medication to help with the pain, obviously. And he said, Shawn, I need you to name your power of attorney. And I was like, well, okay, my sister or whatever. I said my goodbyes to my sister and my brother, and told my brother, hey, I've got an insurance policy, life policy, that's in your name. Told him how to get a hold of it and who to contact and all that kind of stuff, if I remember correctly, because I wasn't exactly in the right frame of mind, but I do remember that. So anyway, I should have freaked the heck out because the doctor said you got about a 30 to 40% chance of surviving the surgery. So I went through two different amputations, one below the knee and one above the knee. I think maybe a day or so later after the initial one. And for the first 3 days, they couldn't even get a central line in me. If you know what a central line is, was when they go through the subclavian right through here. I was shut down so bad, they couldn't get anything in me. They did get a line in my left forearm, if I remember correctly. And they used that for like 3 days. How? I don't know. That kind of leans to, okay, I should have been dead. Should have been dead. But for 3 days, my sister said, they just said, don't give any hope for Shawn. And they literally, from what I was told by friends that took care of me that worked in respiratory, said, I had a buddy of mine. He come to me in the rehab I spent 3 months in. He cried and he said, buddy, you better not do that again. I'll beat the hell out of you. So long story turned into long story. Wound up once I said my little sinner's prayer, fell asleep, and then I went into this void, and I woke up in a void. And
like completely pitch black everywhere and everything.
Everywhere. I had no sensation. I had no body. I couldn't feel myself breathe. Couldn't feel myself move.
You were just a consciousness point floating in space.
Yeah, it was just a point. Yeah. That was it. The only thing I could take with me was my thoughts and feelings. I couldn't yell. I couldn't talk. I couldn't beat. I couldn't kick. Nothing. And I spent lifetimes in that void. What it felt like. And then it was just like, over like that. I've wrote about that 3 or 4 times over the last 69 days. I keep adding on a little bit as I go along because whatever triggers a memory says, oh yeah, that happened in there, and then I'll write about it again. The eyes started to happen. Well, let me add a little something to the story. In the void, I would lose consciousness and then wake back up in the void. It was like turn the lights off and I was no longer there, and then I'd wake up and I'm in the void again. And then sort of like flipping the switch on and off. I woke up and then this huge eye pops up in front of me, and it's a lizard eye and a reptilian eye. Reptilian. And it looks at me and closes, just one eye closes. And then for indeterminate amount of time. I can't remember how long it was, but it was a little bit of time. Another eye opens up, not the same eye, but in a different position from my vantage point, and then another eye over to the left, I think. And then one eye opens, the other eye opens, and then it closes, and then all of a sudden, you know, pitch black again, void. And then, long story short, I'm surrounded in a globe of eyes.
Okay.
That are a reptilian. And as I am, surrounded and realize, oh my God, what the hell am I in the middle of? I get this, like mind speak. Then I'm shoved, I thought, it asked me certain things about my life. And I was like, well, the first one wasn't the very first story that I actually started writing about. Was the last story that kicked me out of this uh, encounter with these reptilian eyes. First story that I can remember was I had an old Ford EXP turbo, and the turbo popped on me outside, a couple miles down the road from where my house was, and I can't remember. I said, "Motherfucker, the damn thing blew up on me. How much is that going to cost me?" So they asked me. This voice asked me, said, "Why was your seat loose?" Yeah, my driver's seat was loose because one of the bolts underneath under the seat was loose, and I was like, "Well, since you knew that, okay, I'll answer." I was like, "I was too damn lazy to rebolt the seat back." So we went back and forth, and I had a total life review and went on and on and on. At the end of it was I got to the point where I wrote about this. This is the first story. I was a 5-year-old kid walking down a train track in a little place called Dunbar, Virginia. It's a little coal camp. And it was an active coal camp. It's still a community. I think it was still an active coal camp because there was a feed store about maybe 50 yards down the train track.
Yeah.
And my aunt said, "Shawn, can you go down and pick up a bag of something?" I can't remember. Like, I think it was biscuits or something like that, and something else. I can't remember. So I was walking down the train track, and I see this little Coca-Cola bottle cap, kind of bent, like somebody, popped the top on it and flipped the bottle cap on the train track. I can remember the gravel under my feet and everything. And I pick up the bottle cap and start looking at it, and then one of the voices said, "Why did you pick that up?" And I was thinking, what a damn stupid question to ask a 5-year-old. Why would a 5-year-old pick up anything? I could have picked up a toy, picked up a rock, picked up anything. Why would you ask me that? I'm a 5-year-old kid. I like Coca-Cola, evidently. So I got shook myself out of that, and I screamed, "Motherfucker, this is what the afterlife is about." I said, "God, what is all this about?" And as soon as I said God, all the eyes went away except for two. And they were attached to a lizard, a reptilian lizard kind of thing. Was in front of a big opal. So anyway, that was part of I didn't get that far into it because I had like 20-minute segments that the show was busted up in between commercial breaks. But I think I freaked him out with the lizard thing or the reptilian. I'm pretty sure you'll probably go back over that tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But I wrote probably 30 or 40 pages just on my encounter with that reptilian that was standing in front of the opal. This opal was like 25, 30 feet from, and not circumference, from top to bottom. So that was actually a gate. I actually encountered 7 gates that, it wouldn't look like, I call them gates, but I refer to them as gates. Like the first gate was me falling asleep on the ER gurney, and then waking up in the void. And that was my first gate. Second gate was moving from the void into whatever these reptilian eyes are.
Okay.
And then the third gate was going through this opal, and I wound up in heaven and talked about the angel that I met there. And here's the what happened in that particular instance was it was like all my senses just exploded. Everything was overloaded. My sense of touch,
Mhm.
every bit of me was either freezing at the same time or burning up like flesh is burning off of me. Too bright, too dark, too loud, too quiet. You know, pain, play the whole gambit of whatever senses you can come up with. Uh, and I can remember kind of being in a fetal position, and then all of a sudden I started getting, well, no, yeah, gradually I got kind of used to the whole thing, and my senses were on a next level. I could see everywhere, see behind me, see in front of me, see around me, be able to travel endless amounts of distances. And this entity, which she never asked me what the entity looked like, but the entity was a ball of energy. And I discerned it was angel, and it was very, very familiar to me. Hey, there's Chris from Paranormal Highway. What's going on there, brother? But as I explained in other shows, which I named the angel in the book, which I'm not going to name the angel in public, but the angel is in the book, the name. Um, the the one thing that he said to me, which kind of puzzled me for years, since 6 years ago, this happened 6 years ago. Uh, he said, "I'm here to help you remember. Not I'm here to help you get acquainted, or
Hmm.
here to help you along the way to get into heaven, that kind of
Can I
stuff."
ask you a quick question, Sean?
Sure.
Um, did it say it was an angel? Like, did you know it was an angel? Did it say outright, "Hey, I'm an angel," or is that just something that like a higher being that was positive and good?
Eventually, yes, it was. I definitely knew it was an angel. At that time, it
Oh.
was just a sensation. Like, yeah, this is an angel.
You know what the problem for me is? I have a hard time defining angels. Like I think about this a lot because
Sure.
like philosophically to me angels don't quite make sense.
Why is that?
Well, if God is omnipotent, why doesn't he need like a working staff?
Well, you kind of look at it from a perspective of, can you think like God? Can you put yourself in that
Hmm.
higher level frame of reference that God has?
Yeah.
You know, you know, are we in God's little experiment? I would dare say probably.
I'm just wondering, what if it is like just a consciousness that or a being that is like just on a higher level that we can't hope to comprehend or wrap our heads around, but it's on the side of like love and good and God. But
I have
because
a
when we use words like angels and demons, to me it's just such a loaded word that people get kind of caught up in the, I don't know, semantics, I think, or the
well.
definitions, you know?
I go into explaining what I perceive an angel is. It's angels are not all good. Angels are not all bad.
Mm.
Demons are not all good or all bad. It's just to the point of how they use what they have.
You know what was
And
a real interesting thing that I read in the raw material actually when they asked it about angels? Because we as humans, it says, are the third density or the third dimension, right? I think
Mhm.
Ra, the entity that was speaking, said he was like sixth or seventh. And then they asked him, "So what do you know about angels?" And he's like, "Oh man, those things are like ninth, 10th level. That's above my pay grade. I have no idea up on that level." Like even it didn't know. It just like, yo, that's above my pay grade. I thought that was
Oh,
interesting. I thought that was a very interesting little thing. He was like, even
mm.
to a seventh level dimensional being that's like highly advanced, more advanced than we'll ever be, it's like looking at the ninth dimensional being like, I don't know what that, we don't even know what they're about, you know? I thought that was real interesting. So that's what I'm thinking about when you talk about the angels, right? Is it like just a being that's like on such a higher level than us that's like might as well be an angel because we'll not wrap our hands around it.
I I think I got downgraded because once I came back, I had
Yeah,
this ability to absorb and consume this multi-layer, multi point of view
yeah.
all at once. I'd be able to be in front of you, on the side of you, witness you and I having a discussion from far off
Hmm.
distances, and then everything in between all at once. Is like, okay, I can consume all that and have clarity on each and every single point, and be able to recall it. I can't do that now. Here's the caveat with that. I have caught myself when I'm really deep into writing, and
Hmm.
here's the weird thing: when I'm like this, I start seeing things that happen around me,
Yeah.
like entities will pop up in the house,
It's a good mental
angels,
exercise.
but
Uh,
I will catch myself being at three or four, maybe five places at once
yeah.
in my thought process, and then I'll just snap out and okay, how the hell did I write about that? How can you say, hey, I was here, 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 and here, and then in a linear fashion talk about that and writing about it?
Hmm.
Now, I had a one-on-one discussion with the devil. At the same time, I had a one-on-one discussion with a couple other entities
Hmm.
that were not angels or whatever, and I had it all at once, or from my perception. And I
Hmm.
look at uh, the entire thing experience as one little snap of a finger, but I was there. I couldn't tell you how long,
Hmm.
lifetimes. I actually wrote about I saw through an angel's eyes, a specific angel,
Hmm.
um, and this angel watched stars birth and die. It was like to him, this the procession of time was like seconds on a clock. But he perceived everything about that star, from the birth, the explosion, to the whimpering death or whatever explosion at the end of it. And it was just, this thing was just so consumed, but he was
Hmm.
elsewhere as well.
So the angel like said, "Hey, look at my what I see through my eyes," and just showed you.
Mm, something like that. Yeah, I guess you would probably say that. I witnessed a couple
Hmm.
arguments between angels, which I kind of go into that, and that kind of dives into parts
Damn, I
of
wonder what kind of shit angels like argue about.
one of the arguments was about us. I
Hmm.
was transported back before humans were humans,
Hmm.
kind of deal. Now, I'm not trying to sell any kind of point of view from any kind of religious whatever. I'm not, if you're
I just,
agnostic, if you
I'm just,
if you're Christian, Buddhist, whatever.
yeah.
I'm not trying to sell any kind of religion to you. And honestly, I
Personally,
don't.
I think they're all true. They're all real. I think
I
they're
think
all
we all
real.
have little
I think they're all real. Yeah, I
I
think
think we
Buddha
have little
existed.
caveats to all of
I
it.
think Jesus existed. I think Odin existed. I think all the gods existed. I think like I believe in every. I think they're all real. Why does it have to be mutually exclusive? Why is it always like one or the other? I think they're all real.
I would say probably true. I would say definitely. I think some of the Olympus gods are fallen angels or angels to a certain extent. It
Or
just
maybe they were
depends on
just
what your
gods and they were
definition
just
was.
like played by different rules. They were just
Maybe.
different things. Or maybe they were extraterrestrials. Or maybe they were like interdimensional super beings. Maybe they were like the outsiders, the ones who don't play by the rules.
Mm. Well,
Why did
Scarborough,
yeah.
right here. The encounter I said about the reptilian eye. I actually know a guy that actually has the reptilian eye tattooed on the back of his hand,
Hmm.
and a buddy of mine. Chase. I don't know if he's in the chat or anything. He said, "Hey, buddy, get you in contact with this guy because his story sort of sounds like your story." It's like, yeah, I'd love to talk to him. I've actually probably need to call him sometime tomorrow, see if I can get in touch with him. But this guy had his own near-death experience with the eye, and he actually has the tattoo of the reptilian eye on the back of his hand. I was like, yeah, that looks like it. So I haven't talked to him yet about that.
Shawn, can I tell you about the NDE story that like really messed me up personally that I heard about?
Sure.
So it was like this girl, an artist. I don't know the exact details about what happened, but she gets into an accident, has an NDE, meets Jesus, right? She talks about it, and then she decides to actually paint a portrait of him, like of his face from her memory. And she's like a really good artist, so it's like a very realistic kind of painting, right? It's very professionally done. And the thing that bugged me out the hardest was in Edgar Casey's writings, he actually gives a physical description of Jesus, and I'm like, holy shit, it's the same thing. And when I saw that picture, I was like, oh damn, that was exactly what Edgar Casey wrote. It bugged me out. It bugged me out pretty bad.
I have no doubt in my mind that people have had similar experiences when they have near-death experiences, or with the sleeping prophets, or folks that are pretty in tune with the other side of the ethereal. I have no doubt that they may perceive certain parts about it differently just because of frame of reference, depending on how they grew up and what state they grew up, what age they grew up.
I'm pretty sure everyone's experience is like individual to them, like I think everyone, but if every individual who dies goes through their own different.
If you kind of go through and delineate and kind of pull out and say, well, that kind of sounds a little bit familiar. That experience sounds like this experience. I think we kind of tap into the same vein.
Oh, like find commonalities. Yeah, definitely. You want to do that as well, obviously, too. You want to compare notes and stuff. You know what? I have a theory actually about the void in your story. Something that another thing that I read.
All right.
When they asked Edgar Casey like what happens usually immediately after a person dies, he usually says there's like a tunnel of light that they go through. And a lot of stories talk about, that tunnel of light, right? Go into the light, all that. It kind of makes sense. It adds up, with most of the common accounts. But he was like, but there are also like back doors and service tunnels. And then he talks about them and he describes them as a big black void. Because you didn't say you went into a tunnel of light, you went into a void. So I think you went into one of like the back doors or the side doors. You didn't go
if you go in and do the pop culture thing, the near-death experience, all the chronicalizations of that in movies and books, you always hear this tunnel of light. Did I go in the tunnel of light? The only thing that was close enough to the tunnel of light was that opal. It wasn't a tunnel.
Light, or was it like an opening? I thought of it as an opening, right?
It wasn't. I actually touched the thing after I, shooed the actual reptilian was scared of me.
Oh.
To a certain extent. I actually touched the thing, and it felt like putting my hand in a warm bucket of paint. Or something to that. Yeah, it's in. Well, that's about the closest. That's about the closest I could probably say that what that felt like. And I tried to, remove my hand. I either fell into the opal or the opal just literally,
like swallowed you.
Swallowed me. And then that's when all the sensations of the gambit of my experiences and feelings, all the senses just exploded all at once after that. So this is the guy's tattoo of that eye, and that's pretty damn close to it. Looks like he's got the brain on top of it, actually. Can't remember a brain on mine, but eventually I'm going to talk to this guy and see one, can I get them on the show to talk to, or at least have a one-on-one conversation with that fellow and see, compare notes.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I actually originally came on to tell my story. I was kind of nervous because I'm usually pretty comfortable coming on to like just chit chat and philosophize, but whenever it's like I got to tell one of my encounter stories, I'm like, ooh, I get kind of nervous.
take your time.
Mm,
What's the
I
easiest
want
part to talk about?
It's not that I mean I could talk about the whole thing. It's just long and there's multiple parts and it's very
I've
long.
got an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You can, if you got that much time to share.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I could get into it. I'll try to be efficient in my speak. Um, 2017. I'm dating this girl for about 2 weeks. We just started dating 2 weeks prior. We're at the stage of our relationship where it's time to meet each other's friends. So we make the plan to go over her friend's house. They're having a barbecue. For the sake of protecting their identity, I will call them Bill and Kate. Why not? I'm very nervous about sharing like names. This is pretty dark stuff.
Okay.
So we we were driving out to like rural North Carolina, an hour away to spend like the weekend there because they have like these weekend barbecues. I don't know anything about them. So I'm asking my girlfriend at the time, like I'm asking her about them in the car, and she's like, "Yeah, Bill and Kate, they got 3 kids. Their youngest son actually passed away 6 months ago
Mhm.
due to suicide. What had happened was he took his father's revolver and he was in his bedroom sitting on his bed and he shot himself. And I was like, oh my God. And that was 6 months ago? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, damn, they're okay. I didn't know it was like serious like that. Okay. We get to the property or the house. They have like a bunch of people there. There's like 20 people there. Um, you know, it's interesting, this place. For some weird reason, there were like hummingbirds everywhere, everywhere. I'd never seen anything like it before. Like, you know how like when you walk out to like a swamp and there are all these dragonflies? It was
Mhm.
like that, but with hummingbirds. I was like ducking. I was like, whoa, what is this? Right? Never seen that before. So I'm at the house, and when I walk into the house, the first thing I feel right away, it feels like walking through cobwebs, but like the cobwebs were like a little bit electrified or something. That's what it felt like to me. It was like a mist, but it was like statically charged cobwebs is the way I would describe it, right?
Mhm.
During the barbecue, I'm walking back from the bathroom through the house back out to the deck, and their family dog is running like zoomies around in the living room. Keep in mind that the house is completely empty. Everyone's outside. There's a young dog, like a year old, running around in circles in the living room, right? That's odd because it should be outside with the guests. Like the door was open. It had no reason to be there, right? Um, Room's completely empty. The dog stops at the corner, stares at the corner, and then stares back at me. And then starts running back around in circles, stops at that corner, its tail's wagging. It's like pointing, like clearly there's something there standing in the corner, right? So that night, it was time for people to go home or stay the night, and they prepared the guest room for me and my girlfriend. But the guest room was the very room where the youngest son resided in, like where he passed away. They wanted us to sleep in that room. And I was like, man, I take her aside and I say to my girlfriend, I'm not really comfortable with that. Can we like sleep somewhere else or a different room or something? Like, she's like, come on, I sleep here all the time. It's okay. So eventually the father of that boy, he's like, yeah, just sleep in there. And at this point, I can't say no because now it would feel like it'll be rude. So I'm like, okay. They kept the room exactly the same. The bed was it was the same bed, like same furniture, same everything. They didn't touch the room. And I'm like, damn, I'm supposed to sleep on the same bed on the same spot where he did it in the same room. Shit. After seeing like all that stuff going on, I'm like, something fucked up's gonna happen tonight. So I'm like, damn it. Um, I proceed to have one of the craziest dreams, and I wouldn't even describe it as a dream. It wouldn't qualify to me as a dream because I remember my dreams. I remember lucid dreams. This was not that. This was
Mhm.
like a virtual reality simulation. Like I was in another dimension. Not only was I in another dimension, I was completely like my mind was completely lucid. Like I was making decisions on the fly. I was like thinking thoughts. I was, adapting, and I was completely focused, but I did not realize that I was in a dream. I was not like aware, and like everything was crystal clear. I remember individual lines of dialogue, and I don't want to go into too many details of the dream, but I'm pretty sure what happened was me and a group of unknown people went in and into this hellscape and busted him out. And when I woke up from that dream, I was like, "What the hell happened?" I tell my girlfriend about it. She's a total skeptic, by the way. She's not a believer in the paranormal at all. But I had to tell her anyway what that dream was. And even that, she was like, "Man, do you think your people? I mean, you actually did that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, because what if I was just so psyched out from having from what if I was so nervous and psyched out about sleeping in that bed that my mind did that, right?"
Mhm.
So I was like, I don't know. It felt like I actually did it, but at the same time, I don't know. Because I'd been drinking that night, been smoking that night. I was like nervous about sleeping in that kid's bed. I made a fuss about it. So it could have just been all in my head. So throughout like the next week, 2 weeks actually, it's all I can think about at work, when I go home, when I'm driving. I'm like, damn, did that really happen, or was that all in my head? And 2 weeks later, I go to my girlfriend's place, and we're like, and when I get there, she's like, oh, by the way, we're going back to Bill and Kate's tonight. Like, she just out of the blue told me, yeah, we're gonna do another night there in the same room. And I was like, really? I was surprised. So she's like, yeah, wait for me downstairs while I get ready. So I go downstairs, and I'm like, at this point, I just found out that I'm going back there. And I'm like, now thinking about it, oh my God, did that really happen? Or did that, you know, um, so when I get down to the parking lot, right, to wait for my girlfriend, I'm leaning up against a tree. And when I lean up against this tree, you know what? I put my head down and I say a prayer. Now, here's the thing, though. I probably have not said a prayer since I was like 7 years old. Like, I've done a lot of meditation in my life. I've studied
Mhm.
a lot of Buddhism and Zen Buddhism, did a lot of meditating, but never prayed, right? But this time I actually prayed it. And my prayer was basically, listen, I don't know who's out there listening, if it's God or Jesus or whoever, or that kid that me and my group helped free. Whoever's listening, I just got one ask. Like, I'm willing to accept if all that was just in my head and I kind of psych myself into it. If I'm full of shit, just let me know I'm full of shit. I'm okay with that, right?
Mhm.
But if that happened, can you just like, it's just not knowing. Like, I just want to know either way. Did it happen or not, right? That was the prayer, right? And I said, Amen. The moment I opened my eyes, as soon as I opened my eyes, I shit you not, there was a hummingbird. hovering right in front of my face.
Wow.
And here's the thing. Earlier in the day during that party, I was with my girlfriend and looking at the hummingbirds, and I said to her this joke. I was like, have you ever noticed you never see a hummingbird just sitting there? And they're like, what do you mean? It's like every time you see a hummingbird on TV or in real life, they're always doing that helicopter shit. You never just see them like sitting on a branch. Like if I walked past a hummingbird just sitting on a branch, I probably wouldn't even know it was a hummingbird because I never seen one just sitting there. They're always doing that helicopter shit. And then my friends were thinking about it. They're like, you're right. I don't know what a hummingbird just looks like when it's sitting there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So at that moment, when that hummingbird's hovering right in front of my face, there's like this branch that's extending down and it lands on the branch and it just sits there and stares at me as if to say, this is what a hummingbird looks like when it's sitting there. So I'm like, holy shit. And a little addendum to that story. Like we would go over to their house like every month. They would have like these barbecues over like every other week or every month. And after a year or so of doing this, one day I was sitting with the mother of that kid, and she was like, "You know what, Donnie? It's the damnedest thing. Like after that first day we met you, it was like all the hummingbirds just stopped coming."
So do you think that the hummingbirds were maybe harbingers or, conduits from the other side, from the ethereal?
Can I tell you, well, in terms of, you mean like what that was hovering in front of my face?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a very not very subtle message from the universe saying like, yeah, this shit's real, bitch.
All right. So
that was a very not subtle message, being like the universe is like saying, Shawn, you know what I'm talking about, right? When the universe just tells you something, it's not very subtle about it. Like once you start noticing synchronicities, you're like, man, that was obvious, you know?
Yeah, it's like this book I'm writing.
Yeah.
As soon as I was in this next level funk 69 days ago, and my friend Julie said, "Why don't you meditate and talk to God about it? See what's going on. Get yourself out of this funk." And I did this meditation, and I had not been in that frame of mind for at least 4 or 5 years, to the point where that frame of spirit, I guess.
Yeah.
And I did an out of body experience. I didn't take any kind of medication. Actually, I was just laying there listening to some meditation music from off of YouTube. Something I don't even know what the heck it was. So I wound up, and there was all kinds of crazy crap around me. And I said, God, what do you want me to do? I thought I was keeping my end of the bargain, that, hey, when I come back and try to help these people, part of it was to do this podcast, radio show stuff I'm doing. He said, no, that's not enough. You've got to write. So I just write. You've got to do it all. There's more to it. So I said, okay, start writing. How long do I need to write? Till you're done. I said, okay, God, I'll do it. I will. As soon as I said I will do it, and I meant it, I snapped out of that funk, woke up. I guess I may have dozed or whatever, or was in a meditative state. Woke up. I had 3 emails. I had done a show the night before about my near-death experience. I had 3 emails. Didn't say I wanted to write about anything. 3 emails saying, hey, I'd like to help you out writing your book. After I did this. So that was like, okay. Well, evidently, if it was one email saying, "Oh, all right, Shawn, I'd like to, talk to you about doing a book or whatever," right? 3, one right after another, saying, from 3 different people, "I'd love to talk to you about this." Sure. All right. So that was my first, dip into, God wanted me to do this, and after that, one right after another, The lady that's in my life now, I've known for a good 20 plus years. We kind of had a discussion that's probably a little bit longer than 20 years. Uh, but as I was writing my book or started writing it, she popped into my head, and I was like, oh, I wonder if she's still around. So it took me about 5 minutes to figure out how to get in touch with her. So I sent her a message. And then next thing we know, we're back into the relationship again. You know, but she was in my life during this whole thing with right before I had the drunk driving accident I did.
Mm-hmm.
I pushed her out of my life. I did not
Mm.
want her in my life because I knew, back in my head said, "Hey, I don't need anybody in my life to sit here and watch me go through this. I have put myself into this. I was a raging alcoholic, and I knew that I was doing that. So I said, no, I don't
Sean,
need
can I
that.
ask you something I've always been curious about, actually?
Sure, sure.
Were you always into the paranormal even before the accident, or was it because of the accident that got you into the paranormal?
I liked the paranormal to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
I did not go out. Well, I can't rightly say that. I did go out to some graveyards and use EVP apps and stuff every once in a while.
Hmm.
But that was too. That was
So you
far
always had an
gone.
interest in it.
I had an
It was,
interest in it,
yeah.
but not. I never had an interest in say, "Hey, Shawn, you're going to be doing a podcast radio show." That was the furthest thing from my mind.
Hmm.
Furthest thing from my mind. I was keyed on. Uh, I was actually looking into doing consultation work with healthcare organizations, hospitals. This was back when Obama was doing all the reconstruction of healthcare, and all those hospitals shut down, and they restructured the payment scale and how you got paid, and the
Hmm.
ICD-9 to ICD-10 um, rigmarole. If you know, that's kind of too in depth. But I went and did a deep dive and had some buddies that we were just had a lot of discussion about. That was my life. That was what I was planning out doing.
Hmm.
And the organization I was with, I turned 3 sleep labs around from not doing anything, where all 3 sleep labs was tripling what they were budgeted for. Not just once. The one sleep lab tripled uh, its output, its gross, 4 years in a row.
Hmm.
And then they come back and said, "No, you can't do that." I was kind of a young snot nosed uh,
It seems
executive at
like you
that
are
time.
very, very focused on your work, like almost single-minded, like
Well,
just
yeah,
career-minded.
I was career minded. Did I have interest in paranormal? Long story short, yeah, I was. It was the furthest thing from my mind. It
Hmm.
was sort of something that I wound up, had an interest in, that I paid attention to, that got my mind off of work. But one thing led to another, and I wound up drinking, and it got out of control.
So after your accident, what was the moment that made you realize, like, I want to focus on the paranormal now? Like, what was like the turning point for you, if you don't mind me
Uh,
asking?
after well, after 3 months in the hospital, literally after the my hospital stay with amputation, I woke up in another hospital about 40 or 50 miles away. 3 months in that, I had all kinds of different experiences. From the point of, hey, I saw my uh, grandnephew before my uh, niece even knew she was pregnant.
Hmm.
Literally, she was in front of me, next to my sister, and it was actually, I think, was the first day that they actually allowed me to sit up out of the bed in a chair or something like that. And I can't even remember what the discussion was. My niece was on my left side in front of me, and my sister was on the right side. And all of a sudden, this little toddler, kind of exited uh, my niece, and it was glowing blue. This little fella. He hops off of my niece's lap, looks up at me, does a little sailor salute, and exit stage left.
Hmm.
And they were looking at me like, Shawn, are you okay? I said, you didn't see that? You didn't see that little kid pop? And they were like, no, we didn't. I was like, oh, okay. Well, 3 weeks or a couple weeks. I honestly I can't remember because I will honestly tell you I was on some high level narcotic stuff. I had the old, hey, you want to make me happy? Press this button right here. Stuff.
Well,
So
personally, I don't think narcotics or drugs invalidates any paranormal experience so much so that it makes people tune into like a different frequency or channel. Like if you consider
mhm.
your brain like a radio and they're like switching channels, and then certain channels are just more open than other channels, right? And each different drug is like changing the channel where certain things can
Could
get
be.
through more easier. So I think they're
Well,
like, I'm not saying like, okay, I'm not defending drugs or nothing, but you know what I mean, right?
well, you get into ayahuasca and stuff
Yeah,
like that of
yeah,
that nature.
yeah.
I don't know. I honestly, I've thought about it, and I'm kind of against it in 1 minute, and I think about it. Well, maybe that's the door to open up that kind of stuff
I
for
do
certain
firmly
people.
believe certain drugs open you up more easily to getting demonically possessed, for sure. Like meth,
Yeah,
something like that. Like it opens you up for some demons. They're coming
well,
in.
I had a demon
Yeah,
attached to me.
yeah.
I had one attached to me before I went into the near death experience. I honestly, saw that. Crap, I got it right about that.
Well, Shawn, I think I've taken up enough of your time. I know your time
Well,
is a bit limited, and I thank you for allowing me to speak and tell my story.
well, man, I appreciate it. Anytime you want to come back on, you're more than welcome. You got a
Yeah,
long, open-ended invitation.
cool. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah, we'll do this again.
all right,
So,
brother.
all right, later.
Later. All right. Oh, there you go, Donnie Cho. Let's see. I thought I saw Cisco in the chat. Let me scroll up here and find her real quick. Well, holy cow, chat's been busy. I ain't been paying attention. Oh, Journey Through the Gate Paranormal Portal podcast. If you guys want to go over this, if you want to know who I pay attention to, this is one of the shows I pay attention to. Donnie Cho is part of that group over there. He has done some stuff with Cisco on Journey Through the Gate Paranormal Portal podcast. If you would like to go over there and subscribe to her, or at least give her a shot, you know, I honestly I enjoy going over there and participating in Cisco and Donnie Cho's and let's see, Steve Stockton usually pops over there, and a host of others will pop in. Uh, Definitely a show that I enjoy on multiple times during the week. I don't know. She did that for a daily thing for a while, and then I don't know if she's still doing a daily thing. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy her content, her view on the world, her view on the paranormal, ethereal kind of stuff. So if you want to do that, let's see. The Paranormal Highway. Chris popped in here. Go over there and look him up too. Like I said, I am going to do last night I was on let me pop this into the chat here. Lighting the Void or radio show last night on the fringe.fm. I'm going to be doing his show again tonight. Last night I was on there for 2 hours, and again, I'm going to be back for another 2 hours talking about my near death experience. Who knows what I'm going to go in there. What's going to go on there? 11 p.m. Central Time, midnight Eastern Time, 7 p.m. over on the Pacific time zone. Cisco's channel is absolutely phenomenal, folks. That's all I can tell you. But 11 p.m. Central, which I've got another hour left in the thing, and then I'm going to take about an hour, and then I'm going to spend 2 hours with Joe Roop over there and talk exclusively about my near-death experience. Which I think that's pretty much what I talked about tonight so far with Donnie Cho. Thanks to Donnie Cho to giving us his little story. His story, not little. Forgive me for that. His impressive story. Hummingbirds. While he was telling that story, I remember at my old place over in Kingsport, Tennessee, where I used to wash dishes out of my kitchen window. I had this flowering bush. I can't remember, morning glory or something like. I can't remember what it was, but I had oodles of hummingbirds that would come in and feed off of the morning glory. And then I set up hummingbird feeders and stuff to kind of keep them attracted. And they would usually pop in. I'd catch them early in the morning when I'd go to work if I, uh, was in front of the kitchen window. Usually I was out the door before sunup, and I was in the door after sunup. I was working ungodly hours. But anyway, I would catch these hummingbirds pop in at dusk and dawn, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. And that's what I was referencing in my head as Donnie was telling his story. So, God bless you. Hey, what's going on? Hadn't seen you in a while. You doing okay? Uh, wow. Destiny Campbell. Hey, what's going on with you? 931-994-6917. If you want to pop in, call, or whatever, you can. Let me pop in the invite for the StreamYard. All you have to have, you don't have to be like Donnie and have a camera. You can turn the camera off. Yeah, it's easy to get in. All you have to do is, share your microphone. You can do it on your smartphone. Just it's easy to do. You don't have to share your camera out if you don't want to show your ugly mug. Oh crap! Why is that doing that? That ain't no fair. Am I still live? It looks like I'm still live. There we go. Get overlay. That's interesting. Why is that doing that? The lines are open. 931-994-6917. It's definitely open. I have had it open for a while. So there you go. All right, let's see. Let me open up something real quick. Let me look something up. Where is it? I've got a Discord server as well. I don't know if I've got my Discord link in there. I'll grab that, pop that in there. Lines are open. IP are open. Let me get the link to my server, Chasing the Truth. It's been actually an active server for a few years. I just haven't used anything with it. Copy, and we'll get the Discord server. If you want to be a part of a growing community over there, take fits where we actually, people actually hawk over there or not. I've been in chatting for ever and a day, back when Yahoo actually had their little chatting servers. So, I know how chatting servers go and come, and popularity waxes and wanes, and they'll be definitely hopping for a few days, and all of a sudden, boom, nothing. But if you want to be part of a community that's fairly open, I've got everybody under the sun that is in the part of that community chasing truth, and there is quite a number of associated servers over on Discord besides Chasing Truth that, hey, if you don't like my flavor, there's other people in there that, Creepy Unsolved. Actually, I'm going to be on a guest over there on May the 19th. We'll be talking about my near-death experience with Dylan and Laura, their co-hosts over there. I don't know when that's actually going to air. I don't know if that's going to be live or not. I actually have to ask Dylan about that. Then we got Nightmare Nation server over there as well. All kinds of different servers I'm associated with. Love them. All one and the same. Gray Wolf Paranormal, what's going on? Trina, I wish you would call in and tell us about your paranormal experiences. If you would. 931-994-6917. I know that you keep saying that your phone doesn't have a reception or good enough reception, but you never know. Heck. But there you go. So what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about, oh, wait a minute. I actually Yeah, let's share my cameras in the house, see if there's anything going on. You know, I don't know, honestly. Last night, here's the crazy thing that happened last night. While I was on the show with Joe Roop, and I can't remember what time frame it was in when it happened. I was talking about my near death experience, and the strangest thing, it was like old woman perfume popped up, like somebody just doused themselves heavily with it, and it stood in front of me. I couldn't see or feel anything other than I just smelled old woman perfume. I can't tell you what it was. It wasn't a flowery perfume, but something I recognized as associated with me going to church and smelling smelling somebody that has had a little too much perfume on. So anyway, here is my house. Let's go here. Let's just open this up to where this is all over. I've got this is not all my cameras, but there you go. I don't know what's going to happen with these things, but we'll see. Give you a look see. Dining room is bottom right, so please forgive me for the messy dining room table, but that's usually where I do my best writing is right there with my laptop sitting there. So I've got, kind of got my little nook right there popped up. But let's see. Right here, dining room table. While I'm writing, I'm sitting at the end of the table in my wheelchair writing. And here's the weird thing. I can be uh, deep into writing. And if I'm writing, last time I actually was writing about specific angels. And if you heard last Friday's show with Keith Hass, was going to be a guest the entire show this upcoming Friday. He's a spiritual medium kind of fellow. And he said, "Yeah, those were angels that were hanging around you. Can't tell who they were because they won't talk to me." And how he answered that, the questions I asked him was like, and in my mind, I was like, if he answers it this way, I'll believe him. And he almost verbatim answered the way I thought he was going to answer them. So he won me over pretty quick. And I think Donnie said within about 3 sentences after Keith spoke, he said he won him over as well. So anyway, top left is my staircase, which I've told stories about ghost on the staircase at the top. That light at the top of the staircase, if you see up here, is actually the camera that is right below it. And you can see the IR light at the bottom of the stairs. There's two cameras looking at each other. And the reason I've got that there is just oddly enough, there has been so I can hear footsteps up and down the staircase every once in a while. The weird thing is I've seen shadows go across the particular staircase up there. And last time I actually saw the little lady up there, she was standing at the top of the staircase. But I've never seen them on the. I've had some interesting pictures where there's stuff looking over the rail. But what's the Skype name? Chasing the Truth 2018. Hold on just a second. Let me get this in here for you, Marie. Uno momento, por favor. Let me see if I can get this. No, I don't want to mess with that. That's good. Invite friends. Skype profile. There we go. Share profile. There we are. And copy clipboard. There we go. Here you go. Here is the Skype. If you want to join in, just wave at me, and that will give you a link to how to get in touch with me. There, Marie, if you want to. I hadn't talked to you in a while, Marie. So, anyway, wait a minute. What? Oh, that's get this open here. Oh, I was kind of wondering what this thing was right here. That's the IR reflection off of the. I've actually got the downstairs camera. The downstairs camera is looking up the staircase. Is right in front of the stairs. That banister right there. So the IR lights are a reflection off of the bleed from the IR light at the bottom of the stairs. So that was new to me. I'll change that out. I think I've had it down there 2-3 days, something like that. But that's my basement door here in the front, and then you can see into. No, I don't see any shadows or anything. I have seen shadows right in here that block out that whole corner over there. So, what big eyes you have? Cool. I like that name. So, Scarball, have you been able to talk to any of these ghosts you have encountered? Yeah, I have actually. The lady that haunts upstairs, that actually my family will not allow any of our little kids up there in the family. I've had encounters with this ghost. Well, there's actually two ghosts in here. The old man that I believe is the little girl, or not little girl, the woman's father. Kind of, you know, I don't know, overbearing kind of deal. Really protective daddy that I don't want my girl out and about. I don't. She was actually sequestered from what I understand of the history of this house. The girl was sequestered upstairs forever and a day. I don't even think she got out, but rarely to go to church. But there was a conversation I had one day. I just had starting living in here alone, probably 4 years ago, 4.5, yeah, 4+ years ago. I boot scooted up to the top of the stairs to open up springtime, open up the windows. Hold on just a second. Let's see. Let me change this out since I've got control of. Oh, jeez. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, there you go. Top of the stairs. All right. This is the top of the staircase, and I've actually had pictures of an arm over top of this banister right here, which is kind of weird. I didn't see it until Vault looked at the screen grab, and I thought there was something peering over top of this banister over here. And I looked at it for months, and then all of a sudden he's like, "What's that arm doing on the banister over there?" And ever since then, I can't not see it. But I boot scooted up to the top stairs, and where this camera is seated, positioned, is on top of 1969 Encyclopedia Britannica, the full, unadulterated. Can't remember how many books or volumes are in that particular bookcase. But I just had started thinking about doing podcasting. Letting Shawn know that this is Indrid. Oh, Indrid. Hey, cool. I was wondering who I gave a wrench to that I didn't recognize the actual name. What big eyes you, Indrid. So, pulled out the reference guide for what they thought about UFOs in 1969. Pulled it down, started rifling through, and there's only a page and a half in this encyclopedia volume. All of a sudden, I felt a hand on my, excuse me, left shoulder, and this was like midday, noonish, bright, brilliant spring day. The lights, literally, I was sucked into nothing but black. Just a second. Sorry about that. I had a cough. Let me get a little drink here. And I said, "Don't touch me. I do not like being touched." As soon as I said that, the touch on my shoulder released, and then lights came back. And I kind of skeptically said, "Okay, how the hell does that happen?" Since I'm in healthcare, I know that if you rise and if you got blood pressure issues or stuff like that, you can stand up or sit down real quick, your blood pressure will either change or decrease real quick. And I've seen people pass out like that. Well, I was in a seated position on my ass in front of an encyclopedia that I wasn't moving, hadn't moved in a little bit. I was actually rifling through different volumes of an encyclopedia I hadn't touched in a number of decades. So I kind of ruled that out. But, I talked to this thing and I said, I don't care that you're up here. I said, I'm only up here to do whatever. You can do, this is your upstairs. I'm just up here to open up the windows and let the spring air in. After a long winter's button up and stuff. But I don't care that you're up here. Just don't bug my family. Don't bug me. You don't bug me. I don't bug you, kind of stuff. So, and I can also tell you, this old house don't like some people. This old house, there's some people come in here now don't have any problems with them whatsoever. There's has been 3 people I know of, which I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but shit's been thrown at them. They get spooked the hell out. My niece, I don't think they don't like her, but she's sensitive, and she's like, last time she was upstairs doing something, she came back down and it was like something was up there and it was just a big heaviness, and I couldn't stand it up there. I had to come back down. So, anyway, there you go. If you after the fact, if you're looking at this podcast, radio show, whatever you want to call this thing, you see anything on the cameras, please make a comment down in the comment section. So, anywho, there you go. Awesome. The power of positive thinking doesn't work for me, but I've heard it works for others. Well, if you keep your fingers out of the chowder, you'd be all right there. Chaos. Hey, let's see. I've got about another 35 minutes, give or take. 40 minutes. 35 minutes left in the show. And at 11 o'clock Central Time, I will be live over on the Fringe.fm on Lighting the Void with Joe Roop. Day 2 of me being on that show. Back to back. I was on last night talking about my near-death experience. A bit like Chowder. Yeah, there you go. You got to throw some positivity. Here's a question for you folks. Have you ever noticed if you're at somebody's house, or if you're at your own house and somebody's cooking for you, if they're in a good mood or a bad mood, does that affect how the food tastes? If they're normally a great going person and you just like, holy cow, this food tastes awesome, and all of a sudden somebody else touches and does the same exact dish, and they're not a good person or in a bad mood or whatever, does that affect? Have you noticed that? Does it affect how the food tastes? Your intent, whatever your negative or positive mood is kind of poured into what you're cooking. Type 1 if that is a yes or no. Yeah, whatever. That sounds like an interesting thing. 1 if you have noticed that whoever's cooking, their mood is poured into the dish that they're cooking. If they're lighthearted, kind of go-lucky kind of personality, and their food is just absolutely awesome. What big eyes you have? Absolutely. Yep. There you go. And 2, it doesn't matter what kind of mood they're in. Food's food. I have noticed, actually, I've kind of noticed it myself. I cook majority of my meals. I've noticed if I was in a good mood or a bad mood, it actually does affect how my food tastes to me. So, Bass Mayhem 0615. Man, when you going to put out a new video there, Bass? What's going on with you, brother? So food is to be made with love and nourish for healing. Absolutely, okay. You and I are of the same ilk there. I believe you right there. Absolutely. Well, holy cow! I'm clicking the wrong thing. Let's go over here. Click that. There you go. I'm in the wrong broadcast software. I was poking something else and it wasn't reacting the way I wanted it to react. There you go. Absolutely. 111 Scarborough. Absolutely. Oh, there is Marie. Hey, Marie, give me just a second and we'll get you popped into the show. On just a second. All right, Marie, how you doing, honey? What's going on?
Good. I'm doing good.
Great. How you been?
Good. My mother passed away, so yeah.
Bless your
I
heart.
haven't
Sorry to hear
been.
about that.
Yeah.
So how long ago, if you don't mind me asking, how long ago did she pass?
She died last month on my birthday.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So you're doing all right there, Marie?
Sort of.
Sort of. So
Yeah, it's just a mind thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I seen you popped up in
Yeah.
the my Discord server a couple times.
Yep. I did.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So you got any interesting stories to tell us, or you just popped in and say howdy do?
No, I got interesting stories to tell about my experience as a near-death experiencer.
All right. That
Yeah,
sounds good.
when I was I think 13 or 14, I had a near-death experience because of double pneumonia. When I went out of my body, I went out. I just went out. I remember going out, but I didn't know how I got out. I just don't remember quite the details, but in the room where I went, before the room, there was this construction sign pointing to a room that did not exist on this plane. Did not exist on the plane, on this world. And then by the time I got in the room, I could see something in the back of the room. There were some windows, and I could see this light in there.
Okay.
I went towards the light, and then I got snapped back. So I remember. Like something was saying, no, not yet.
All right. Let's turn you up.
But there was also a door, if I remember right. There was a door, a black door, which I did not go near. I don't know what that door was.
All right. Did you go through the door, or you just saw the door?
I just saw it. I did not go through the black door, no. It was too scary. I felt too scary stuff over there.
And so, like negative, or just the feeling that hey, I don't want anything to do with that door.
Yeah, it was negative. That was a bad door.
It was a bad door. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and then outside the windows, I could see clear that there were these buildings. It was like, I don't know, with gold. I think there was white gold on the streets. I think.
Okay.
I don't quite remember. But I did see the sunlight, even though it was dark by the time I went back in my body. It was like, yeah, it was weird, John.
So where was this place that you wound up in your near-death experience, the out of body stuff? You recognize the place, or do you have a name that you attached to it, or anything like that?
It was like the hospital, but it wasn't. I was in the hospital with double pneumonia after I aspirated, getting sick and breathing it in. I was in the hospital very, very sick. And then I felt this pressure on my chest, and then I was out.
So
and they told me I had passed away, or maybe they had. I don't remember what happened, but they had me knocked out. But I remember leaving my body.
mhm.
I do. I remember that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
isn't that interesting
yeah,
though?
that's interesting. What did you feel like when you woke up? Once you knew that you were no longer out, having this out of body experience. What did you feel like when you woke up from this experience?
A lot of pain, a lot of loneliness. But I soon learned, oh, it's nothing to talk about to the
Oh,
nurses because they thought it was kind of weird.
hmm.
But there was a, found out later there is, or maybe was a doctor that investigated children's near-death experiences.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I already wrote to the hospital and see how much it is for them to copy my records and see if I did actually pass on. Well, not pass on, but,
Yeah.
near death.
Right.
Mm. And I miss talking to you, Shawn.
Well, Maria, I've always enjoyed talking to you. Hit me up over on the Discord server anytime you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, like with my mom passing away, I saw a butterfly in my mirror after my shower.
Oh, in your mirror. Oh, wow.
Yeah, after the shower, in the steam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the steam. It was in the steam. I showed it to another friend of mine, a caregiver of mine. She's like, yeah, that's a butterfly.
Wow. Well, there's your
And
sign.
then, yes, it is. She's like, I'm free. In the dream that I had about my mom 2 days after, she called me on the phone in the dream and said, I'm alive.
So she called you in a dream and said you were alive,
Yes,
or she was alive.
he was alive, yes.
Well, there you go. I
Mm.
absolutely believe that, Marie. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yes. Communication like that give you, some sort of peace of mind, peace of spirit that, hey, and
Yeah,
I'm still here. Yeah,
yeah,
I believe that. Absolutely. No doubt.
yeah. And my sister's going to bury her ashes. We had her cremated, and she's going to have she's going to have a burial in the backyard. Her ashes.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, if that is how you wish to honor her, that's fine and dandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's great. Condolences to you, Maria. I hate that your mother passed away. I hope that it was a something to celebrate for sure. Sounds like it is,
Yeah, I was.
especially with the dream of her calling you and saying, "Hey, I'm alive," and then the little butterfly in the steam. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. So yeah,
I
there's a
don't
lot
know
of
if you can hear my cat.
What's your cat's name?
Domino.
Dom. What breed of cat is it?
It's a short hair cat.
Oh, one of those sooner cats that sooner be one breed than the other.
Yep.
Yeah, there
He's
you
a
go.
silly boy.
Oh wow, Domino. That's a cool name.
Yeah, I gave him that name. I asked him, I mean, I have abilities myself, Shawn. So,
Oh yeah, well there you go. Well,
so
I
I
know
did
you.
ask
I know
him.
you're sensitive to that type of
Yeah.
to the other side. I've always known that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, cool.
Let's see. Bass in the chat said, "Seeing butterflies is strange. When I was in hospital, my sis-in-law saw one land on the windowsill outside my room." Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
I believe little
Cool.
things like that are, like with Donnie. If you heard Donnie Cho's
Hmm.
little story about, or not little story, big story about the hummingbirds. I think that was, like you said, that was just the universe saying, "Hey, pay attention. This is real." His and kind of a
Yes.
harbinger, messenger kind of deal. So,
Hmm.
absolutely, without a doubt. And I think the universe gave you a couple of good answers, saying, "Hey, your mom's okay. Everything's all right. Everything continues." It's just a state of being change. That's the way I look at it. But yeah.
Okay, Shawn, I'll let you go so you can have more callers.
All righty. Well, God bless you, and I hope that everything goes all right with you there, Marie.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night,
You
Shawn.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. So, what do you think about? Let's see. If something bad happens while you're in an out of body state, can it be undone when one returns to the body? I. Hmm. That is an let me reread that question from Scarborough. If something bad happens while you're in an out of body state, can it be undone when you return to the body? I would say yes. Just like any other deal, if it has to do with metaphysical, spiritual kind of stuff, I believe in the absolute power of prayer. There's all kinds of different little things that you can do. I think it can be undone. But yeah, I think it can be undone. It just depends on the intent of you, the intent of whatever happened to you, wherever it came from. I definitely think it can be reversed. Anything is, I'm not trying to sell a religion, but anything is possible through God. Absolutely, anything is possible through God. But got about 28 more minutes before I give up the ghost on this old show. 931-994-6917 if you want to be a rescue squad just passed by my house. Sorry. I just thought of a personal joke that I'm not going to share, but there you go. Anyway, 931-994-6917. You can call that number or text, or if you want to be a part of the show and jump in like Donnie Cho did, and be on screen with me. You don't have to share your camera. You can be on the smartphone, laptop, uh, iPad, whatever. You can do that for sure. Let me get the link for StreamYard here. There you go. If you want to be there, you can, follow the instructions. It's easy to do. You don't have to share out your camera and just have to have a microphone. If you have a camera, great. If you want to show your lovely face or handsome face or whatever kind of face you got, you can do that, or just don't share the camera out. And it sort of look a little bit like this. If you don't share the camera out, you'll have a little circle, or I can't remember. That's my icon I put up. Especially if I just don't feel like looking presentable, I'll just have this up. But I actually gave half a damn about the show tonight, so I said, "Yeah, why not?" So was not sure your answer of prayer is comforting enough. I absolutely believe connecting with God through prayer, there's everything, means everything. I'm not trying to sell any particular religion. I'm along the lines of what Donnie said. Every religion has a little piece of the puzzle. Um, even if you even if you don't believe, I think there is room for that. If you're agnostic or you just absolutely just don't believe in a higher power, we're just a chemical happenstance. I think that there might be room there for you to believe something and a little bit bigger than yourself. So the big thing is I absolutely 1000% believe there is something beyond closing your eyes for the last time, without a doubt. I believe that before I went into the near-death experience. But I beyond believe it now. I absolutely know there's something beyond that. So, if you think that's me selling a religion, no, that's not me selling religion. I'm just saying, hey, there's something after this. Absolutely. Anyway, for the folks that just popped in at the end of, it's not the end of the show yet. Still got a little bit to go. But at 11 p.m. Central, 12 midnight Eastern Time, 7 p.m. over on the left coast Pacific Time, I'm going to be live with Joe Roop on Lighting the Void for day 2. I was on his show last night for 2 hours talking about my near-death experience. We got into it, and we had two different. Well, it wasn't too different. It was 2 conversations on 2 different levels. One during the commercial, he's like, "Holy cow!" He kind of blew my mind out with a couple of things I mentioned, and he's probably got a list of questions to ask me. Maybe he actually went down my 69 days of on my community post on Chasing Truth Shawn G over on YouTube. If you're over on Facebook or on Twitter watching this live, if you go over Chasing Truth Shawn G on YouTube, I have been doing for 69 days, kind of giving a summation of what I have written about. I'm still in the brain vomit mode. Borrow that term from my friend Julie. And I just said, hey, there's some stuff I just can't explain. How the hell do you write about I'm experiencing 3, 4, 5 different things all at the same time? And Julie I actually, kind of wringed my hands around that and like, oh, how do you do that? And she said, write without rules. Don't give a damn about rules. Comes out of you, go for it. You'll be chasing a squirrel, which hell, I've done that quite a number of times. You'll be chasing squirrels for a while. And I think that's exactly what I have been doing for 69 days. I tried to keep it in some sort of frame of reference in a linear fashion. But I get into it so deep, I have literally caught myself sitting there with a keyboard typing, and then kind of go into a trance, and I stop typing, and I wake up and I'm like, oh hell, what the hell just happened? And I'll be like a page or 2 into whatever text I was typing, or maybe even half a page. Like, oh, I experienced something. Here's the crazy thing, and I've actually 2 days ago, 3 days ago, somewhere in the past, I was writing about angels, and I got really deep down into it, and I'm blind in this eye. I can't see a damn thing out of it. But I saw these orbs in front of me. Yellow, green, and white orbs. Went from this field of view all the way around me while I was typing about these angels. And what can I say? Yeah, well, I'll go ahead. Why the hell not? What the hell's going to happen? Other than, this is the truth. There was a particular dark entity that was attached to someone, and I addressed this dark entity, and I said, I hate that I have to deal with you. You need to get the hell away from me. And I did some rebuking, and then later on that evening, I saw this thing. I was sitting in my dining room, and to the right of me is the entranceway to my living room. Saw this black mass, and this little spindly arm kind of pulls in. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. So I did some more rebuking and praying, and then got rid of it. But I think when I'm doing this stuff, I've actually seen angels. I'm talking about 8, 9 feet tall. This old house has really high vaulted ceilings, above me, especially in the foyer right here in front of my door. There's like 12 feet to the second floor. This entity was at least 8 to 9 feet tall, blocked out the entranceway to the living room. It kind of glowed white to grayish white. And I was actually on the phone with my sister, which I've told this story before. And we were discussing disposition of my mother's long-term care. And then I rolled in here to do something. I rolled back out on speakerphone, and I see this entity blocking out the freaking doorway. And I actually told my sister, I said, hey, I just saw something. And I looked on my cameras, and the cameras systems I got up, I could see down the hallway, which I've showed you why not? Why not? Let's just pull these things back up. Just to give you a frame of reference. Show you what's going on. This camera right here, the hallway camera, I come out of my bedroom down through here, and I actually popped on this camera to see, hey, was there something glowing at the foot of these stairs or not? And nope. You can see me go down the hallway. And hey, I just saw something, sis. And the actual camera that should have put the thing up was actually this camera right here. My living room camera, which the hallway is illuminated by an IR because I've got a camera stuck at the bottom of the stairs right here on the left right here, looking up the staircase. So it's illuminated a little bit, and it looks kind of weird. But this is my living room. This camera was offline. So shit on me. There you go. That didn't pick up anything. So I kind of look at it from a perspective of, yeah, I got visited and it didn't want to have its picture taken or a video taken. And I actually looked at upstairs on this camera and it didn't capture a thing either. So who knows? I don't know. But there you go. Stop sharing. There you go. Tina, what's going on? Are you leaving us for the night? Well, I appreciate you popping by. There, Tina. Tina MM. Tina Bias will be back if you do partake of the Southern Supernatural on Fridays. She was on with me Friday, and she got pretty freaking sick Friday. She's doing a whole lot better, folks. Yeah, she kind of was, in bed for a while. I actually, for like 2 days, I didn't hear her. I got maybe one text from her. One text a day. Kind of deal. And that's kind of odd if anybody knows Tina Wise. She's a texting machine sometimes. You're like, holy cow, all right, yeah, all right, cool. But today she was feeling a lot better. So she should be back Friday on Southern Supernatural. Our guest, along with my other co-host, Danielle Diva Borzan. We'll have a guest by the name of Keith Hass. He's a psychic medium, and I can honestly tell you, he called in Friday along with Tina, which she got pretty sick, and you can see that, I've got the Irish complexion. I'm white as almost like my t-shirt. And she usually keeps a fairly good complexion, but she was whiter than I was Friday, referring to Tina. And she, about an hour into the program, which I knew she was feeling sick, and she's like, oh, no, I want to go on. All right. Well, she got sick and texted me, said, I can't come back on. All right. No problem. So we finished it up. Keith was gracious enough to stay on with me for a little bit. But just like any other time when I have some dead air, there's nothing that I can ramble on for a little bit. But there you go. Tina, I appreciate you popping by, Tina MM. So, Scarborough, I appreciate you. About 15 more minutes I got left in the show. If you want to call in 931-994-6917, I'm going to give the last call for alcohol. Last call for the show's last open line call that I'm going to take. If you want to be in, just say, "Hey, Shawn, I heard you. I'm from XYZ," or if you've called in many times, you can. Or if you got Skype is actually pretty decent. And it's free to call from wherever you are in the world. I think some communist countries you can't call from it just because of how they do. But that will link you to my Skype account. Don't now. All you have to do if you're new to Skype, you download it and then sign in. Pretty simple. That will link you to me, and then just open up a chat conversation and do a little wave, which that's an automatic default thing, and I'll pop up on my screen, and then we'll connect and get you on. It's interesting. I've seen other shows about having open lines. People don't like doing open lines. Joe Roop does open lines on Lighting is Void. Oh, wait a minute. I actually do. Somebody. Oh, except Marie. Hey, Marie. What's going on? Do you want to come in? Hold on just a second. Oh, there you are. Oh, there's Marie. That was a lady. It was just on. There you go. I connected with her. There you are. So he waved at me. The lady that was just on. I appreciate you being in there, Marie. You didn't have to call. You could have just connected that way. That would have been just as easy. But holy cow. There you go. All right, folks. So let's see. Oh, this old house. Ghosts. Last time I seen a ghost in here, probably about 2 days ago. Saw something walk. I guess that last thing that I just explained to you about the black entity next to walking past the doorway from the dining room into the living room with a black spindly arm, which I think was a demon. Absolutely, without a doubt. Parkway, what's going on, Parkway? Appreciate you popping by there. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up if you like the feel of it. Subscribe, share it out to your socials. Tell your dog, your cousin's dog, your parakeet's best cousin's second neighbor on its mother's side. If you want to tell all those particular entities and people, the ghost that is in your next door neighbor's house, tell them about this show. We do this. I do this show on three different occasions scheduled: Wednesdays, Fridays, and then Saturdays over on the Dark Waters channel. Dark Waters channel, I'm doing Fringe.fm Saturday night, 7 9 p.m. Central Time, along with the Paranormal Radio app. Well, there you go, Sue. But you never know. I might wind up doing. I've taken wild hairs. I've done 6 shows in a row. Tonight I will probably be talking about 4 hours, so I'm gonna take about an hour off and do the 6s and 7s, as they say, and get ready for talking to Joe Roop over on Lighting the Void, which I had a fun time last night. Kind of spooked him out a little bit. He kept saying, "I didn't expect you to say that." So I don't know who's going to do that. Goodbye from all for now. Be listening to the later, Shawn. I appreciate you. Bye. Dropping by there, Wayne. And Sue, it should be about midday over there down under, I would think. Yeah, drop by. Let me grab the link to, let's go here. Stream your light. There we go. This is where I'm going to be a little later. And it'd be live, and you can listen to this. Light in the Void over there. 11 p.m. Central, 12 midnight Eastern, 7 over on the Pacific time, left coast over in California time. And I do not know what the Hawaii time is. Goodness, Shawn, if I share your show or Vaults, my family and friends will think I've lost it. Oh my God. Well, why not? I honestly, I think some of my family members, yeah, some of my family members probably think I'm kooky. Excuse me. Stacy Mitchell, hey, thanks for popping by. 12:50 p.m. here. So you're 12 plus 2, 14 hours ahead, maybe, or behind. Ahead or behind? Ahead, I would think. I don't know. When you're spinning on the world and you're trying to say, well, if you're there and you're over here, where the heck's what time is it? So yeah, I got you. So it'd be probably 2 p.m., 3 p.m. by the time I go on over on the fringe.fm live. Which, if you just joined in like Stacy did, I will be live at midnight Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time over on the fringe.fm on Lighting the Void, talking second day in a row over there about my near-death experience. Who knows what's going to happen there? Actually, I wrote a little bit about stuff I remembered last night at the host over there, Joe Root, reminding me about it. And I was like, well, all right, yeah, might as well write about that. I wrote a little bit about that. Actually, it was my fall from heaven into waking up in a hospital bed and what occurred during that. Still got a lot of unpacking to do with that memory, and some stuff happened and occurred that I haven't kind of put my arms around it, but you never know. Oh, Sue. Hey, Sue. You want to come in there, Sue? Let's see. Sue in the chat just waved. You want to chat or not? You can do audio or whatever. Oops, Shawn Mint. Yeah, there you go. You want to be in the chat, or you just want to do audio? See, I love that accent. Just anything other than my crazy accent. That's the crazy stuff. Everybody likes my southern accent. Not exactly sure. I listen to my accent. I'm like, who the hell would listen to my accent? But anyway, if you want to come in, Sue, just hit that. If you want to do camera or if you just want to do the audio, it's easy to do. No. Okay. Well, that's up to you. Hurt my feelings? No, you didn't. I appreciate you connecting with me over on Skype there, Sue. You didn't hurt my feelings at all. But there you go. 7 more minutes, and I'm going to give up the ghost. Last call for the last person to call in on the unscreened open lines. 931-994-6917. Now I'm happy listening to Shawn till I'm brave. Well, I think I'm pretty easy to talk to. Yeah. Or you just listen to me or frickin' ramble. Shawn gets all the ladies with that accent. No, I don't. No, I don't. Oh, if I could just share what I'm laughing about. It's just stupid, but it's so stupid it's laughable. But it's funny. I will say this: there are some folks that have such a loose grasp on reality that I know of, and it just Alabama, you can't beat a Southern accent. The redneck Riviera down there in the Florida coast, down around Panama City Beach, the ones that have been living there forever and a day, not the folks that move in and move out, the winter and summer bunnies kind of stuff. Don't be modest, Shawn. People like my voice, is all I can tell you. And I've had a couple people say, I fall asleep to listen to your shows. I was like, okay, well, thanks for telling me I'm boring, but all right, that's cool. That's a let's see, Sue. It's like performing. Once you see no one is throwing anything, it's pretty easy. Try, you'll like it. Well, I'm not going to throw anything at anybody that calls in. Had a vocal cord 5 years ago. My voice is husky now, terrible on the phone. That's all right. Hey, I just want to hear your voice. I'm not going to critique. You sound like whatever. You know, I will just identify and say, hey, that's Sue. Want to hear your voice. I'm not going to critique you that, hey, you know, whatever quality of voice that you have. But there you go. But 931-994-6917. If you want to reach me after the fact, you can use that same number. I actually answer. Maybe not in the middle of the freaking night, though. 3 a.m. and I get a call on that number, I'm probably not going to answer. Little dog, big heart, your voice is soothing. Yeah, you know. I appreciate it. My email, ShawnG at IamDarkWaters.com, SHAWNG at IamDarkWaters.com. I do look at that. You can join my Discord if you want to. Got, I think about 120 people in there right now. Oh, not all active at that time, but 1 second. Let's get the Discord in there. If you like Discord, got it set up. Been over there I've had that Discord channel for about 2 years, maybe 3, give or take. Got some bots that are working overtime with different things that I'm interested in that post stuff. Voice channels and stuff like that. I have tried to I figured it out, but I never do it. To simulcast from the Discord into while I'm doing these live shows. And Holly says she falls asleep listening to you, but it's called your voice is soothing. Oh, well, thank you for telling me I put you to sleep. Oh, wait. Incoming call. Well, we'll do this. And hold on just a second, Sue, and we'll get you live on the air. All right, Sue. Hey.
I just called in to say hi.
Oh, well, your voice is not that bad at all. Now I know exactly what you sound like. Now you sound like Sue to me.
Well, yeah, Husky Sue.
You sound like Sue to me. I don't have anything else to compare you to. You're Sue to me from now on. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, thank you, Shawn. I just thought I'd hook up and let you know that I love the show. And, you know, I follow you everywhere.
I love you too. Sue, Stacy says Sue's voice is beautiful. So there you go.
Thanks, Stacy. Yeah. Well, I thought I'd just give you a quick ring, Shawn, and let you say, well, hi, and yeah, you can put a voice to the name.
Well, I appreciate it, and I will always, as soon as I see you in the chat, I'll say, yeah, I know what that lady sounds like. I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless. Bye.
Bye. Sue from the chat. There you go. That is right. Literally, how many people I estimate about for every caller that calls in that has a story or just wants to call in and say hi, just like Sue did, there's probably 15, 25 plus people that don't do it. I didn't bot you, did I, Sue? But it's easy to do, I love talking to new people. That's the thing about it. I love talking to people. I love new friends. That's one of the things that with my near-death experience that I absolutely cannot say enough about. Friendships, loves, people that you care about, you take with you to the other side. A piece of gold, all the money, all the cars in the fucking world that you could possibly put your hands on, you cannot pay to get them across with you. But friendships, loves, things like that you can absolutely take with you. That is your treasure right there. Friendships. And I will defend friends forever that way. But folks, tell you the truth, I would love to stay on a little bit longer, but I've got another date in about an hour with Joe Roop on Lighting the Void, which I'm going to post. If you're over on, let's see, Facebook or over on Twitter, lightingthevoid.com. Go there and just go to that. You'll see the show, and there'll be a live feed there. Donnie, I consider you a good friend too, buddy. Appreciate that. But there'll be a live feed, and you can listen to me talk about my near-death experience. Joe Roop, interesting fella. He's really got a metaphysical kind of out-of-body experiencer mindset. So who knows what he's going to ask me a question. Last night I gave him carte blanche to ask me any question he want to, and he freaking did. All right, folks. I think I'm done for the night. Shawn G at IamDarkWaters.com, 931-994-6917. IamDarkWaters.com. You need to go over there and subscribe. Check out what Dark Waters is posting over there. You're not going to get any content like that over on any other platform other than IamDarkWaters.com. Without a doubt. Let me say the closing prayer here. Give me just a second. Let me pull up my prayer thing. I usually say the same two prayers, and I absolutely believe this is the prayers that I say before the show and then in closing absolutely help. Lord Jesus Christ, in thy love and mercy, establish a perimeter of protection around everyone that's listening or participating, and myself and all our loved ones, those who pray for us and their loved ones. May the holy angels guard us and all our possessions, establishing a perimeter of protection around us, rendering us immune from any kind of demonic influence. I ask that no demonic bondage, door, demonic entity, portal, astral projection, or disembodied spirit may enter the space of 100 yards in all directions from us. I ask that any demons within this vicinity or any that should try to enter here be rendered deaf, dumb, and blind. That thou would strip them of all weapons, armor, power, illusions, and authority. That thou would bind, rebuke, and disable them from communicating or interacting with each other in any way. Remove them, sending them directly to the foot of thy cross, Jesus, Son of the Most High. Ask this in thy glorious and most holy name. In Jesus Christ's name, please send your angels of mercy to those that are in need, body, mind, and spirit, that are hurting, that are in desperate need. Please help them out. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. And definitely, Marie, condolences to you for losing your mother last month. I did not know that until tonight. God bless you. But holy cow. Another good show, but like I said, lightingthevoid.com. I'll be over there with Joe Roop on Lighting the Void in about an hour, less than an hour, talking about what I've been talking about for the last 6 years, give or take. 4 years on the shows and stuff off and on. But who knows? 2 hours of that, 20-minute segments, 4 20-minute segments, 25 minutes, something like that. I don't know. Get into all kinds of craziness in 2 hours. That's for sure. Hopefully I'll keep my voice, but we'll see. And let's see. Wait a minute. Destiny said something here. Via phone or voice chat, my voice is horrid. Somehow it's like I'm a 12-year-old boy and smokes 2 packs of Marlboro. Like Sue had the same complaints. I don't know what your voice sounds like, Destiny. But as soon as I hear your voice, that will be your voice forever and a day in my head. So, and I'm not going to critique it. Honestly, I will not. Why? Why? Unless I've known your voice forever and a day in some way, somehow you smoked crack for whatever amount of time and your voice went south. I might critique it then, but that being said, I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, there you go. How that happens, how that is. God bless y'all. I appreciate it. And like I said, 931-994-6917. I actually do answer that. And I don't care if you call me or whatever. There's a few people I do not want to talk to, and they know that I don't want to talk to them. So if I hadn't said that to you directly, you're free to call me at that number. I may not answer in the middle of the night, but holy cow. Join me again, like on the Lighting the Void, or Lighting the Void, not the, lightingthevoid.com. All one word. At 7 p.m. Pacific time, midnight Eastern, 11 p.m. on Central Time. I'll be live over there with Joe Rip. And just a second. Here we go. And this is, what is this song? Hold on just a second. The Future Bass. Actually, this was picked out by Shawn. She said, hey, you need to run this night. So I got it, downloaded it. Here we go. God bless y'all. I'll hopefully see you over there on Joe Roop's show, Lighting the Void.